Hey, welcome back to the Racing Trend. I'm your host Daniel, and today we are diving into my Formula 1 2025 Chinese Grand Prix review. Let's go. So let's start with the sprint, in which Hamilton won in his first race for Ferrari. I mean, it still was a race, it was just a sprint. I know we didn't qualified as a full proper win, but it was a win anyway. So yeah, I mean, I think he did a really good job on that race. I think he showed it. He still got it. But yeah, just drove a really good race. And you could see throughout the whole weekend that track position was king. So yeah, that was, I think, the most important part for winning the race. Get on pole and just control the race. As the others, Piastri and Verstappen, especially Verstappen, following Hamilton for most of the race. You could see, I think he lost the tire grip, and so he just couldn't keep up with Hamilton anymore, and then got overtaken by Piastri. So yeah, all in all, quite an interesting race. I'm not saying it was too much to talk about, but all in all, yeah, I'm just happy for Hamilton that he got his first win for Ferrari, first-ish win for Ferrari, and yeah, not much really happened, I thought. So yeah, let's go to the main race, in which Piastri got the pole. I think he did an amazing job this weekend. He showed that when he needed to, he pulled the lap of the bag, got on pole, which was so key, I think, for his win. Because whoever was going to get pole was going to win the race, because from that you could control the race. And we could see how hard it was to follow, which is sad, because these rules were meant to help with that. But I think with the teams, bringing all that downforce back that they lost, starting with these regulations, you can see that, yeah, it's just really hard to follow. Tire pressures go up and the tires overheat, and yeah, it's just, it is what it is. I hope the next cycle improves the racing itself, but I'm not saying I'm excited for the engine formula, but the cars itself, I hope they are able to follow each other even better. When we had the first races in 2022, I was so excited because you could see the cars could follow each other so much easier, and I was like, finally F1 did it. But it's just, as time went on, of course, it just gets worse a bit, so it's just a shame, because you come to a place like China where you can have really great racing, but everyone's just trying to preserve the tires, because you're not able to follow, and if you follow too closely, you lose that tire grip much quicker, and it just all falls away, and you just don't want to be doing that. But all in all, yeah, Piastri, I think he did a fantastic job, and all weekend, I think he was just quicker than Norris, and yeah, he just took it and gained a whole lot of points, which, yeah, definitely is needed, because if he is to challenge for the championship, he has to be up there. He can't fall away from Norris, especially in the early stages, and he can't fall away, because I think McLaren will then focus on Norris more. So he has to just keep up, getting those wins, getting those seconds at least to be behind Norris, just on his toes. All in all, Piastri did a really good job this weekend, and yeah, I hope that this is a sign of him, finally seeing the champion that I think the potential of a championship that I thought at least when he came into Formula One was going to be. So yeah, I mean, I like Piastri. I think he's a fantastic character, and I just like the guy. I think he's a massive talent. We'll see how he gets on for the rest of the year. Now let's go to Lando Norris, who finished second in the race. I think he was just not uncomfortable kind of weekend, kind of didn't have the best qualifying in the sprint. Just got a point, which might be proven to be vital. Come towards the end of the championship, who knows? But yeah, got second in the main race. Got qualified by George, which we'll come back to George. But yeah, Norris just kind of good recovery, I could say. Just not quite up there with Piastri for pretty much the whole weekend. But yeah, I mean, that McLaren was really good. I think it was really fantastic. And I don't see anyone really catching them this weekend. Even though I think it was not as big of a gap as it was in Australia, but still big enough to be rather comfortable. Even though he had those brake issues towards the end of the race, which I think one more lap and he would have lost third, maybe even fourth. So yeah, I think he got away with that one. So he still finished second, and yeah, onwards he goes, I guess. And I'm sure we'll see Norris bounce back. Next, we got George Russell. I mean, what a job he's doing. Another third place in the Grand Prix. Qualified second. He said he did a few tricks in the warm-up lap before he did this main quali lap, and yeah, just pulled it out of the bag in the second place, which then really helped him in the race, I think. Starting in second. Of course, he still lost it to Norris, but I think just the Mercedes was just not quite up there with the McLaren. So all in all, I think George just impressive. I think really, really impressive job this weekend in general to be up there, just getting those points. And we'll see how the Mercedes, there's been two different tracks, and it's been in that top three, especially with George. And yeah, I think let's see how it goes. Who knows? Maybe George will be a dark horse. As long as that Mercedes keeps being up there. Yeah, but yeah, we'll see. But yeah, great job. I think George did a really, really good job this weekend. Just overdrove, I think, even the Mercedes to be up there. Next, we had Verstappen, finished fourth ahead of Ferraris. We'll go back to Ferraris, but yeah, I think I'm happy with the car. Just not quite there, the Red Bull. But Verstappen being Verstappen, still finished fourth, third in the sprint. yeah, still he's up there. He's still contender because I think that Red Bull, when it isn't switched on, I think can still challenge for the top. It's just a bit of a tricky car to get up there. But yeah, Verstappen just got the points that the max points he could have got really. Um, and yeah, yeah, well done to Max really. Next, we had the Ferraris. Um, so it would have been, of course, fifth, sixth for Leclerc and Hamilton, and Leclerc, I thought most of the weekend was kind of just behind Hamilton. Not sure what Ferrari did between the sprint and the main race because I think it started not suit Hamilton, didn't quite work for him, the car. Um, but yeah, I think Leclerc really showed his pace in the race, even with that broken wing. Yeah, guys, quick. You know, he can be unbeaten. On his day, he really can be unbeaten. Yeah, I think Hamilton. Of course, he got the sprint win. Yeah, I think Ferrari is still working their issues out. No, we had two Grand Prix, and to be honest, hasn't really done well. Got barely any points here, barely any points in Australia, so got a lot of catching up to do in a title battle where I think it's going to be so close. So to lose a lot of points, get disqualified in China is a massive blow for them, and I think this could hurt them in the future. When it comes, down to the last 2-3 races. Yeah, we'll see where both of them will be. But at the moment, it's not looking great. It's not. Yeah, I hope they can bounce back. But other than that, yeah, they were disqualified this weekend, so nothing to show for it. Next, we had Ocon, who inherited fifth. So of course, we had the two Ferrari disqualified. Yeah, Ocon, I think, in that Haas, I think, had a pretty good weekend to get both cars in the top 10. Get points, from Australia where they didn't look great, really. They looked terrible. I assume they were kind of the slowest car there. So to come back to China and look good, look competitive. So, and we kind of expected that from Haas. I think, yeah, the car didn't look that bad in testing, so I was surprised to see them so far back in Australia. To come back to China and get a whole lot of points, again, I kind of think with Max he could do. And yeah, well done to them. Next we had Antonelli. He had quite, I think, eventful race overall. Finished 6th though, would have finished 8th where he basically qualified. But yeah, I think, he's a rookie. He's still so young. You kind of have to let him off for now. But yeah, I think as the season goes on, he has to get closer to George. That's what I expected. Overall, I think Kimi, decent job. Got points again, and yeah, onwards and upwards, I guess he goes. Next, we had Albon. I mean, again, just a brilliant performance by Albon. Again, out qualifying his teammate Sainz. Just just a great job. Solid race. The last two races, to get Williams kind of from nowhere from last season to again being the points in the first two races. Yeah, just I didn't expect Albon to be ahead of Sainz, honestly. I know maybe Sainz is still getting used to the car, things like that. But yeah, well done to Albon for that. In eighth, we had Oliver Burman, and yeah, I think he did a really decent job. Got points again. He would have finished in the points anyway, even if the Ferraris were not disqualified. So yeah, just I think he did a solid job again, and yeah, just but a rookie, he's just trying to learn as much as he can. So yeah, I think Berman, solid job again, and I'm sure we'll see more of him. Because I think he has the potential to be something. I think, but that's yet to be seen. Next, we have Lance Stroll. Again, just a solid job. Again, another weekend, got points in the Aston Martin where it's average. And 10th, we had Carlos Sainz just getting the points. Again, because the Ferrari's being disqualified. So yeah, I think being qualified by Albon, I'm sure he's not liking that. I think he's still getting used to the car overall. But yeah, I think I'll be quite happy to get at least points and to just learn again a bit more about the car. Let's see how he gets on, because I think if this carries on, we have to kind of evaluate Albon again, because so far he's just doing a brilliant job, and what more can you ask for? And yeah, I think that would be all for my 2025 Chinese Grand Prix review. Overall, there wasn't too much happening in the race. It was not the most exciting Grand Prix. There's not so much to talk about. I'm sure we'll get Grand Prix where things gonna just go crazy and we're gonna see some fantastic racing. I'm not sure the next Grand Prix will be that, but we'll see. That is all for me, guys, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.